Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm the 20th Key and this is Reunite Sandy Speaks. But this is going to be a special edition of Reunite Sandy Speaks. This edition of Reunite Sandy Speaks is to remove Judge Lawrence Riff from the bench. So if you're familiar with me, I am a black woman who was married to an abusive alcoholic, a wealthy white abusive alcoholic for over 23 years. And I have been homeless since September 23rd, 2020, when sheriff deputies, one of which was Deputy Anthony Polito, who he told me he was ordered by Lieutenant Gary to break in my home. They broke down my back door on September 23rd, 2020, during COVID. And I have them on video threatening to arrest me if I didn't leave my home. And I've been homeless since that time. And there are many players involved in the violation of my civil rights. But what I'm coming to learn is that this Judge Lawrence Riff, this is Judge Lawrence Riff right here. So Judge Lawrence Riff was previously the supervising judge of the family court. Okay, I'm not clear how long he was a judge of the family court. Because I'm in a hotel and they were vacuuming the hall, so I had to stop. So let me recap. This video is about Remove Judge Lawrence Riff. This channel is about documenting racial abuse in California, not in California, in the country. Okay, so let me say this to you properly. Okay, again, I'm the 20th Key, and some really horrific things happened to me. I was a black woman. I am a black woman who was married to an abusive alcoholic, a white, wealthy, abusive alcoholic. And the state of California brought me great harm as a black woman. And it involved multiple judges. And the main denominator in this divorce is Judge Lawrence Riff. There is, am I saying this properly? And please forgive me if I'm not very articulate, because I struggle. I'm suffering from anxiety and depression. And because of that, when I think of these things, when they come to my mind tries to block it because it's painful, okay? And so I'm pushing through. So I'm asking you to please, again, be patient with me. And I'm sorry that I keep having to preference that because I just don't want you to think that I'm crazy and I'm dumb. I sound like it, but I know what I'm talking about. I'm just really struggling. So Judge Lawrence Riff was previously the supervising judge of the family court. Okay. My case originated with this woman, Judge Sarah Heidel. Judge Sarah Heidel eventually recused herself from my case. And everything that I'm saying to you is speculative. This is alleged, okay? This is alleged because I don't know for sure. These are allegations based on my experience. And these are allegations based on my research. This video is to educate the public and to search for other victims of Judge Lawrence Riff. Okay? So, staying focused, I just mentioned Judge Sarah Heidel because what I'm learning is this is common occurrence in the family court. I was violated because I'm black and I'm married to a white person. Okay? If you are a victim of Judge Lawrence Riff and other judges in the family court, don't be deterred from partnering with me, sharing your information, because what I'm coming to learn is Judge Lawrence Riff brought harm to many women, okay, and also men, okay. Men, I see you. I'm not mad at you, black or white. I know Okay, so the white guys and the black guys, I'm going to put you over here for just a second. I haven't forgot about you. Don't think you don't matter because you do. But I want to tell you what I'm noticing. What I'm seeing is Judge Lawrence Riff has a pattern of violating women who have been abused, okay? Women who have been abused, battered women, okay? And so what's happening is that when you're a battered wife, you struggle with everyday task because you're suffering from anxiety and depression because you've been in an abusive relationship, right? And so when you are abused in the court, you're abused by your spouse, and then the court is enabling and also abusing you as well. I don't know if I'm saying that properly. I want to say intelligently, but I struggle with words because it's multiple things happening to me, and I'm trying to see a neurologist, but I'm so sorry. I had a concussion. When all this happened, I got rear-ended because my husband abandoned me. And he abandoned me, and he didn't support me. And I was a housewife. Oh God, this sounds so crazy. I was a housewife, and the person I married to was a primary breadwinner. He abandoned me in 2018 with over $8,000 a month in monthly home expenses, and I was forced to drive Uber and Lyft. I got rear-ended. When I got rear-ended, I suffered a concussion. So I'm suffering from concussion syndrome, and the concussion's not healing because I don't sleep. I have insomnia and anxiety because of what the court's done to me, okay? And I'm sharing that with you because if there's other women who were also abused, and I'm saying this to you ladies as I speak, my therapist always says, where do you feel it? It's in my stomach. I have anxiety. My heart is racing. And this is called, it's an involuntary response. It's a fight or flight. My body is trying to make me stop talking and thinking about it because it's doing damage to my brain and my body. It's not healthy. When the body acknowledges fear, it doesn't know if you're going to get hit by a car, if someone's trying to shoot you. The mind recognizes its fear. So it's either fight or flight. And what's happening is my body wants me to stop. My body wants me to say, stop, run, don't do this. So I'm getting sick and I'm getting distracted, okay? So with that said, what I'm coming to find out is Judge Lawrence Riff has a pattern of abusing women in divorce who have experienced abuse. If you're an abused wife, you don't have the same endurance and tolerance as another wife in a divorce who was not abused. It could be just a marriage where they just didn't get along and they're having some conflict, but it's just a marriage that didn't work, okay? The wife in a marriage where they were abused, they have other symptoms and signs. Like certain things trigger us. As I'm talking to you and I'm sharing this with you because I want you to see that it's happening to me. So if it's happening to you, please don't be afraid, okay? This video is for me to find and locate other victims of Judge Lawrence Riff, okay? So, and I'm telling you from my own experience, okay? In the court, I tried to tell him that this man was abusive to me. I submitted letters dating back to 1993. Okay, you guys, so what I'm alleging is Judge Lawrence Riff, who was previously the supervising judge of the family court, was abused his discretion as the supervising judge, and he abused his power, that he enlisted other court officers in different departments and agencies in his corruption, okay? And so to the men, you know what, I love everyone, and I'm a good person, and I love people, and I don't want to isolate anyone. I am going to focus on women who were abused because that's the pattern that I'm seeing. I don't doubt that he hasn't brought harm to men as well, and I'm going to discuss that later on. Because what I'm trying to say to you, when a person is unethical, they're unethical. If they're going to harm a black woman because she's black, they're going to harm a Jewish woman because the opposing husband has a lawyer who he's sleeping with. Okay, what I believe, the judge that originally brought me harm was Judge Sarah Heidel. I believe Judge Sarah Heidel is sleeping with Judge Lawrence Riff. What I believe is Judge Lawrence Riff abused his power as a supervising judge. Okay, I believe that he leveraged his power to coerce other court officers and other departments in being involved in his corruption. Am I saying that properly? Because the reason why I'm saying, see, I don't want to assume that other departments set out to harm people. That's one of the biggest issues. One of the biggest issues is the judge has a lot of this power and authority. When I first started calling lawyers to help me, they kept on saying, Judge Lawrence Riff is a powerful judge. Do you sure you want to do that? So many people said, well, how are you going to bring this to the family court with the power that he has? How are you going to win? Okay? Since that time, Judge Lawrence Riff is no longer a supervising judge. Okay? This is what I'm trying to figure out where he is. He's, let me tell you guys, he's on Spring Street. I just called and tried to find out. I don't know if I should try to put this, I have so much footage, you guys, and I tend to put too much information. And I don't want to talk, I don't want to put too much information and get you bored. So let me say this to you. Judge Lawrence Riff is now currently, okay, the reason why I know this, because other women who are victims of Judge Lawrence Riff are contacting me, okay? Because I serve a good God. I serve a good God. Okay, so we're out investigating so we can hold this man accountable. So Judge Lawrence Riff is at 312 North Spring Street in Los Angeles. So he's in a court building on Spring Street. Okay, and I called to try to find out what department is he in. Is he in complex litigation? Okay, so here's the issue, because the person that I'm talking to, she thinks that they just moved him here and he's still pulling the strings, that he still has access or the power to bring harm to other people in the family court. Okay, so if you're watching this video, this is fact finding. This video is to research and inform the city of Los Angeles that Stanley Mosk is corrupt, and we're trying to bring these people to justice. Okay, so if Judge Lawrence Riff has caused you harm, if Judge Sarah Heidel, Judge Bruce Iwasaki, or any other judges at the Stanley Mosk courthouse brought you harm and you feel like they did things illegally, please message me, leave a message, contact me, okay? Because what we're going to do, we're going to show a pattern. So let me say this to you, because I just was watching this video. Because what in this video, I'm going to identify different agencies that I believe are a party to the corruption in the family court. Okay, so several people have sued Judge Lawrence Riff. And what I'm learning in my case, there are multiple judges on my case. In these other family court lawsuits against the judge, they named multiple judges. One of the judges was this judge, Judge Amy Pellman. Judge Amy Pellman, I'm going to put her in here, replaced Judge Lawrence Riff. Okay? And you guys, when you've been harmed the way that I've been harmed, that the judges are involved, the clerks are involved, the sheriffs are involved, several different departments in the sheriff's are involved, other lawyers are involved. When all these different people are working to conspire against you, you don't trust anyone, okay? And so this Judge Amy Peller was appointed as the supervising judge, okay? Which brings me to another agency. It's called Beverly Hills Bar Association. I believe Beverly Hills Bar Association allegedly has ties to Judge Lawrence Riff, and they're to some degree a party to the corruption. I can't say that definitively. This is allegations. I don't know. I'm not even, you know what? Reason why I'm backtracking is I just watched a video with Amy Pellman, okay? And so it's called Direct Examination. I'm gonna post both of these videos below. When Judge Lawrence Riff did is with Dan and Lauren with the Beverly Hills Bar Association. Dan and Lauren, they do this called a direct examination. I don't know the 100% the function of the Bar Association, but I guess it's to educate attorneys and keep them up to date and develop. I'm not sure, okay, because I find that there is a conflict of interest if you're an attorney and you're consorting with the judge. I think that's a conflict of interest. And these are things that I think we're going to have to examine at a federal level, not a state level, okay? Because this is happening in the state, okay? So Judge Lawrence Riff did a direct examination with Dan and Lauren. I'm going to post it below. Beverly Hills Bar Association. They allowed comments. When people started commenting on Judge Lawrence Riff's video, direct examination, they cut off the commenting. Okay, why if you don't have anything to hide, why would you cut off the commenting? Initially, there were comments. Now they cut it off. Then I see a direct examination with this lady, Amy Pellman. And Amy Pellman, if you're watching this video, my heart is hurting right now, because I watched your video. Her video is way different than Judge Lawrence Riff. I want you to watch Judge Lawrence Riff's direct examination versus Judge Amy Pellman. Judge Lawrence Riff is arrogant, very cocky, very self-oriented, very narcissistic in his interview. I'm not exactly sure the nature of the direct examination. I think the direct examination is discussing the judge and how they came to be who they are. In Amy Pellman's interview, she says we're down 4 judges. Judge Lawrence Riff was assisting supervising judge. Judge Bruce Iwasaki was also a family court judge. Judge Amy Pellman says in this interview, I'm going to link it below, says she's down 4 judges. I watched about 10 or 15 minutes of her interview. I'm going to watch the rest of it. And you guys, I got to tell you, I'm a Cancer. By nature, I'm loving. By nature, I don't automatically think that people are bad. I don't automatically think that someone is trying to harm me, okay? To black people, if you're hypervigilant and you walk around thinking someone's trying to get you, I get it. This is one of the things that the harm. When we need reparations, we need more than money. We need repair for the mental anguish that they've caused us. Black people, if you're walking around thinking everyone's trying to get you, it is a natural reaction to the way that we've been abused in this country. Okay? I'm a critical thinker. Therefore, I question my own behavior. I question my own attitudes because I know that I'm under stress. I know horrible things happen to me. And when horrible things happen to you, you react not always. It changes how you feel and how you think. Okay? And so, like, I want to say, white people, I'm mad at y'all. And I've never been I'm mad at white people. And I don't want to say that, but I am. But because of what these people did to me. And I'm a black woman. But that is a natural reaction as a human being. But the difference between me and an animal is I can rationalize. And my rational mind says, are you being judgmental? Are you being clear in your thought? And where I'm going with this, when I watch Judge Amy Pellman, I'm very much of an intuitive. And I can see people's heart. I think her heart is clean. I'm not sure. And I'm making a bold statement in saying that because this corruption is infested in the Stanley Mosk court. Okay? And when corruption appears, when they replace you, okay, shit goes downhill. It starts at the top. If the corruption is at the top, it goes downhill. Okay? So my mind is going back and forth. I'm confused because her name was listed in other lawsuits against the Superior Court. Okay, it may have just been in there because she was one of the judges, and I don't know. Okay, but when they replace you, usually they replace you with the same element. Okay, it's no different. Sometimes it's worse, or it's a little better. When I just watched Judge Amy Pellman's direct examination with the Beverly Hills Bar Association, I only watched the first 15, 20 minutes of it. It was compelling. It was compelling, maybe because she's a woman. And just, I haven't heard it, but in listening to how she arrived at where she arrived at, when she talked about the changes that she's making in the court. So, for example, she discussed settling things out of court. Okay? In my case, they never gave me and the guy that I married an opportunity to resolve the case. When my attorney tried to move the court case so they could resolve it, Judge Sarah Heidel ruled against me and intervened. Okay? Judge Sarah Heidel ruled in a way on May 3rd, 2019. She ruled in a way that brought me harm, that forced me to go to court and see a judge opposed to selling outside of court and having my attorneys negotiate. Okay, Judge Sarah Heidel is responsible. Okay, this Judge Amy Pellman, in her direct examination, talks about creating programs where people can settle the issue outside of court. And Judge Amy Pellman, I hope I'm correct in saying this about you. I hope that you're not evil like these people. Because in her interview, she talked about studies about how things will be resolved easier and better when the decisions are made upon each other. Judge Lawrence Riff, Judge Sarah Heidel, and Bruce Iwasaki didn't do that. What I believe Judge Sarah Heidel, Judge Lawrence Riff, and Judge Bruce Iwasaki, that they use the family court as a way to make money. That they have relationships with other attorneys. Like one of the ladies that called me, she thinks her husband's attorney is sleeping with Judge Lawrence Riff. I read something early on that Judge Lawrence Riff was a pig. Okay? I believe Judge Lawrence Riff slept with Judge Sarah Heidel. Okay? And these are all the things these are all allegations. These are alleging. I don't know for a fact. This video is to fact find, to find other victims so we can create a pattern. Okay? And I really want to briefly go back to this Judge Amy Pellman, because you guys, y'all see, I have a guard and I always think the best about people, okay? I'm kind of gullible like that. So if I'm wrong about Amy Pellman and you know that I'm wrong and she violated you, so what the problem is, if they broke the law, if they didn't follow the family codes, the state codes and the federal codes, if they did things that were appeared biased. See, California is a community property state, right? It's a community property state that's equity. Everything should be split down the middle in half, okay? So it's not complicated. It's a no-fault community property. These judges shouldn't have a very hard job. You look at the equity, you look what's involved, and you do it judiciously, okay? That's not what's happening. Judge Lawrence Riff is violating people. And what I think, so you think, so why is he doing it? What is his vested interest in hurting people? Okay? And that's what we're going to find out in this fact finding, remove Judge Lawrence Riff from the bench. I believe that my case, Judge Sarah Heidel was a judge for less than 16 months. When she was when I would go see her, she would do a recess and she would go and talk to someone and call someone. And I think she was calling Judge Lawrence Riff. Okay? When I complained about her, he immediately protected her. Okay? And I think she's a pretty beautiful woman. Judge Sarah Heidel thinks she's a beautiful woman. Okay? She's a mean woman, but she's a beautiful woman. So women, you know. And one of the people that are involved in this, her husband's lawyer comes to court dressed scantily clad. Okay? She dressed very provocative, okay? And women, we know girls do that. And according to what one of the people that who are sharing their experience with me said to me that she believed Judge Lawrence Riff is sleeping with her husband's attorney. Okay, this woman was also a battered wife. She's a battered wife. So I want to talk about. I don't want to go. It's a couple of things I want to handle. So let me stay focused on this. Stanley Mosk is a corrupt court, and we need reform. This is an election year, which makes it more vital. We need to get the appropriate parties involved and seeing if people like Rick Caruso. I'm for Rick Caruso. I'm not for the other lady, Karen Bass. I did a video for her. Karen Bass, I think she's part of the Black Caucus. She's running for mayor. I didn't support her. I don't vote for her. Judge Karen Bass is running for mayor. I called Karen Bass on multiple occasions to get her to help me, to bring her aware. Her assistant, I'm not sure if it's her assistant's name is Christine, but something like that. She kept putting me off. She sent me to some Asian senator or a House of Representatives, a Senate representative. She did not try to help me. So let me say this again. I'm getting excited because I'm angry about this. Karen Bass is a black woman who is a senator, I think, and she's running for mayor. Black people, she has no, it is my belief that she's not trying to help black people. I think Karen Bass is a politician and that her goals and objective is to take care of Karen Bass. I also called Maxine Waters, and Maxine Waters, if you're seeing this, you know I've had some tussles with your people, okay? But Maxine Waters called me back. Maxine Waters called me a couple of times and has tried to help me. She told me to identify the judges that brought me harm. She will not acknowledge that she helped me. But mysteriously, these judges were removed. I don't know if Maxine Waters had any involvement in that. I have some issues with Maxine Waters, but again, I go on my intuition. I don't think Maxine Waters is a bad person. I think that in politics, shit happens. And sometimes you have to just, to maintain your position, sometimes you do things that you wouldn't normally do. And I'm not trying to cover up for Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters don't know that I feel this way about it. Me and her people don't went at it back and forth, okay? All right? So they probably think, I done said things to her on social. She probably thinks that I don't trust them and I don't believe in them. She had one young lady who was really intelligent. I love smart women. And one of her assistants was really very bright. And they kept giving me the runaround, but something told me that Maxine Waters really, she didn't want to hurt me. I think that her hands may have been tied. Okay? Karen Bass, who's running for mayor, excuse me, that bitch didn't even call me back. So if you watch this video and you Los Angeles, vote for Rick Caruso. I'm rocking with Rick. Rick, if you hear me, I'm with you, Rick Caruso. And if things work out and I get everything, a lot of my stuff resolved, I'm going to campaign for you, Rick Caruso. Okay? And whoever else that is endorsing you, your team, because Los Angeles, you said you want to clean up Los Angeles. And a lot of times, let me tell you something. Y'all people are mad because they're wealthy business people and you think, oh, they're like Donald Trump, or so they always say Donald Trump, or they say, don't get mad at me. Don't tell me, don't be saying that I ain't angry with Donald Trump. Let me not say, I shouldn't say anything about it. You say Donald Trump, people get angry and upset. Okay? I measure you on what you do and how you bring me harm and how you bring people harm, okay? I don't go on conjecture and hearsay. I'm a critical thinker, okay? Does Donald Trump may have some unsavory racial views? Possibly, okay? What my concern is my civil rights being violated. You don't like black people, honey, you ain't gotta like me, okay? Listen. You don't have to like black people. If you don't like black people, don't like them. My concern is violating our rights. I just don't want my rights violated, okay? And I'm saying that about Rick Caruso because what ends up happening is people who have less think, oh, rich people are corrupt, and they're rich and they're corrupt. The guy that I married came from a very wealthy family, okay? And wealthy people do leverage their wealth, okay? But there are good wealthy people out there, you guys. There are wealthy people that want to help. There are wealthy people who value and or have gratitude for what they have, okay? And just because they're wealthy does not automatically mean that they want to bring us harm or they want to violate us, okay? If you don't agree with me, it's okay. I understand that, okay? I'm just asking you to please stay with me. Help me. Okay? So, if you don't agree on my views about Donald Trump, Rick Caruso, Karen Bass, Maxine Waters, that's fine. These are the things that divide us and prevent us from getting liberation or justice. Okay? If you follow my videos, you'll see I am the most generous, non-biased person you will ever meet. I don't care what color you are. I don't care about your sexual orientation. I don't care what you look like. I don't care who you slept with. I don't care who you married. All I care about is if you're a good person and if you're respectful to others. If you're in the power of authority, I would appreciate if you would use your authority to help others. And you know what, you guys? I don't know if I said this, but y'all know I'm all over the place. This Amy Pellman, you guys, listening to her video touched me. And I'm always hopeful. If you guys know of something that she did that was wrong or whatever, let me know. Share your story with me. But listening to her, I only saw the first 15 minutes. You listen to her versus Judge Lawrence Riff. She is totally different. She's so sincere. She talks about how did she arrive where she is. She talks about trying to resolve the issues outside of court. And this is where I'm going with this. The person that I married was an abusive alcoholic, okay? I was married to a very wealthy white man. Me and him, and you guys, I love my husband. I'm not going to sit and tell you I don't love that man because that was my husband for 20 years. And I was crazy about him. I was literally crazy about him. He was everything to me, okay? He was my best friend. We had been together since we were 21 and 23. He was my life, okay? One of the things that he struggled with is that the man I married was adopted, and he was an abusive alcoholic. He was adopted by two wealthy white people who were they were abusive to him, and they made him feel like he wasn't worthy. The guy that I married was an overachiever, okay? He was an overachiever, and he really wanted to do a good job in terms of work. And other white males or black males as well. I'm not trying to exclude black men. Don't think I'm excluding you. I just know about white men because I was married to this white man, and this is the thing that I know about white men. And a lot of them have daddy issues. Okay, this is male masculinity, misogyny, patriotic like vibes. Okay, I'm not against men. Okay, I love black men. I'm just objective. Okay, the man that I married was an alcoholic, and I tried so hard to make my marriage work. He abused me frequently since we were young. As I got older, and a lot of things happened to me. I had back issues. I had a lot of like mental shit happening with my job, just in life. And he, as time went on, he was not very supportive. When you're an alcoholic, because I was raised by an alcoholic, the alcohol starts to affect your brain and your thinking. And you might think that I'm making excuses for him, but I'm not. I'm telling you what happened. He was angry and he was mad and he was frustrated about a lot of things. We had been married for 20-something years, and he did support me. And my husband supported me. He was nasty. He was abusive. He would say demeaning things to me. And I always knew it was about his pathology of being an adopted person trying to overachieve, right? And why I'm saying this is that Amy Pellman said in her direct examination, when you mediate and come to an agreement on your own, people say, I'm sorry. People are more prone to stick to what happened. They didn't do that to me. You read my case, I haven't updated it because I was stressed and I was having really bad anxiety. I'm trying to get help now, so I'm trying to get better. And I'm going to update my videos on I Married a White Guy and 3 racist judges are trying to annihilate me. So back to the guy that I married and Amy Pellman. Amy Pellman is saying she wants us to resolve the issue. And this is what happened. He was mad at me, you guys. When he first filed for divorce, My daughter told me that he wasn't going to do it. He was trying to threaten me. And that's what, I don't know if you've been married, but that's what he would do. He was like, yeah, you ain't going to have me no more. See what you're going to do, okay? And we were together forever. And I was mentally exhausted. I had suffered from chronic pain for over 10 years. I was mentally exhausted. And this is the problem. The family court's job is intervene in these social issues. The family court is supposed to look at things expeditiously and help you. The family court is supposed to recognize that we are very volatile at this moment. So a lot of our feelings or emotions are up high and alert. And you know what, Judge Lawson, if you're watching this video, my husband filed a motion to restraining order against me illegally because he was trying to minimize his spousal support. And this judge, I'm putting him in here, Judge Lawson recognized that my husband was lying, called him in lies and all kind of shit. Okay, Judge Lawson said in the hearing, I remember him saying, divorce people argue over money and da 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 da. This Judge Lawson, from what I can see, from my experience, he was a honest judge, and I'm discussing that because the judge's job is to resolve the stuff because tempers are high and we're driven by emotion. The judge is supposed to say, you know what, they're supposed to resolve it so it's no, to minimize it being hard feelings. To say, okay, you know what, she hasn't worked in 10 years. You are the provider. You need to pay her spousal support. Even though you're angry. Because in my case, my husband he didn't feel appreciated. Okay? So men, if you're one of those men, I'm a good wife. Okay? I'm a good wife. And I appreciate my husband. My husband felt tired. And he was exhausted. He had been going through court for child support. The state of Tennessee had him in court for child support for like 10 years. Okay, should have paid child support. This is what this white man who I was married to. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. He want to hold on to his money. Okay, so the guy I married was being pursued for child support by his first child. He paid for her up until she was 26 years old. His first child was, I know I should laugh, you guys. His first child was a pharmacist and a doctor making almost as much as he was making, and he was still paying back child support. So what I'm saying to you guys, I'm telling you why he was angry. He was angry because the state of Tennessee came and went back for back support until she was a child. Okay, he had a horrible shit happen to him in the state of Tennessee, and it happened because he was trying to get out of paying her. And so after he went through all of that with her, he was like, he didn't want to go through that with me. He was like, oh, in his mind, he's like, oh, the court's going to malign me again. Okay, but he has ties to the family court in California. The Judge Sarah Heidel, he told me that he knew her. Okay, so in my case, it was different. And you guys are gonna keep on thinking I'm making an excuse for this man, but this was my husband, and I know who he is. When I kept telling him the shitty things that his attorney was doing to me, he would laugh at me and say that's what the attorney in Tennessee was doing to him. Like mailing stuff out and post-dating it and lying about stuff. He would call me laughing about the stuff his attorney would do to me that was illegal. He would laugh about it. And you guys, I know I don't just want to sound like I'm a better wife and I'm protecting him, okay? But I'm just telling you the truth because I know him. In his mind, the people in Tennessee brought him harm and they hurt him. When it came to me, he didn't want the same thing they did to him, to do it to me. And because the table was turned, that they were bringing me harm because I'm black, he went with it. He went along with it, okay? And no, it's not okay. I can get deep into the psychology of it. But the point that I'm making is that the family court is supposed to intervene. and try to make everyone whole and try to do it judiciously. Judge Lawrence Riff, Judge Bruce Iwasaki, Judge Sarah Heidel used their influence and their discretion to abuse people. And again, I want to say this to you. I want to name a couple of these agencies, and I know I'm ranting here. So if you know, if any of your people involved in your divorce has ties to the Beverly Hills Bar Association, also this place right here honored Judge Lawrence Riff. I think it's called Levitt and Quinn. They honored him, okay? And one of the attorneys that I called, I think her last name is Graves. I think she worked with Levitt and Quinn, and when I called her to help me file a motion, she asked me why would I file a motion back and go back to the same court that harmed me. That's what she said, okay? And then I come to find out that she is involved with this Levitt and Quinn. You guys, I have other names of other attorneys that are involved in this, I do file. I plan to file additional suit in court, and I don't want to alert these attorneys, so I don't want to name them. If you have attorneys that are involved with Levitt and Quinn, and this is alleged Levitt and Quinn, okay, this is a fact-finding video. If you have any attorneys that are involved with the Beverly Hills Bar Association, and you feel like Judge Lawrence Riff or Stanley Mosk harmed you in any way, please contact me. Okay, then one more thing. I'm one order of business, and I think I'm gonna end this. Okay, so there were two cases, and you guys, this is fact finding. There were two other cases that where they're suing Judge Riff. Okay, so let me tell you the name of the case. It's you guys. Let me stop for a minute. I'm going to find this one. Let me stop. Okay, guys, I'm about to wrap this up, but I want to share some more information with you. Okay, so these are the cases that I know of. And other people, if you're a victim, please help me. It's a few of us on this. We need as many people as we can to help us do the investigation. Okay, so Judge Lawrence Riff was sued by two different parties. Okay, it looks like it's Hankey versus Superior Court of California. And Judge Riff is the respondent, okay? So it says the respondent is Judge Riff and the Superior Court. The party, the petitioner name is Amber Hankey. Amber Hankey, if you see this video, I'm going to try to locate you and send you a correspondence. Amber Hankey, if you see this video, please contact me. Okay, I'm going to talk to you further about this, Amber, but I want to also identify the second one. The second one is another case, and you guys forgive my computer's going slow. You guys, I'm in a hotel, so the second one is Soloway versus Superior Court. You guys, I'm waiting for it to open up, and I think I've reviewed this before, so I think the man's name is Seth. Soloway, it's not opening. You guys, give me a minute. So your name is Soloway versus Superior Court. It's Soloway. 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 And Mr. Soloway, I think your name is Seth. My computer's not opening up. I'm trying to find it to look at to be sure I'm saying this right. So let me tell you guys what happened. Look at this damn. I'm in a hotel. So let me tell you guys this right quickly. Judge Lawrence Riff was being sued. Okay, so let me explain to you why these judges are very comfortable with harming people. Okay, judges have a lot of discretion, and in order for a judge to be guilty of violating your civil rights or guilty of something, it has to be extraordinary. So when I talk to other attorneys, what they tell me, in order for them to call a judge on the carpet, they have to do something that really harm you. Okay, so in the case of Soloway, Mr. Soloway, I'm going to try to contact you. So Amber Hankey and Seth Soloway both sued Judge Lawrence Riff, and what these petitions were denied. This description: file petition for writ for relief. I'm not sure. One of them might still be pending, okay? I might be mistaken, you guys. I'm trying to do this really quickly. I think Amber's may have been denied, okay? So let me explain to you what they do. Exhibit the emergency petition for writ mandate. You guys, I need to look at this again. I looked at it briefly before, but I want you guys to know this. Because when I read stuff, I read that it was denied, okay? Okay, so what happens is, what I read somewhere, I'm not really sure, it said that the petition to sue Judge Riff was denied because it wasn't extraordinary circumstances, okay? So when you say extraordinary circumstances, what is extraordinary circumstances, right? What I'm trying to find out now is who is responsible for determining can you sue a judge or not, okay? We have to name their names. The Family Court of Los Angeles, Stanley Mosk, is corrupt. And judges and court officers are abusing their discretion. Okay? Judges feel very comfortable violating your rights because it's not probable or likely that they're going to be called out for their abuse because of the way the laws work. Okay? What the girl told me this morning is that they have the cat minding the mouse. The cat is minding the mouse, is how she's trying to say. So what she's trying to say, that in this country, there's checks and balances, okay? I believe the appeals court and other court departments are a party to the corruption. So if you say Judge Riff is guilty of this, if in order to prove it, it has to be something extraordinary, if he just approved ex parte illegally, if he awarded a man less than he should. When you look at this, overall, it seems small to the court, okay? In order for a judge to be wrong, it has to be extraordinary. And so this is why they're comfortable with hurting us. It's because when they go before whatever the procedure is to say you are wrong, you wronged someone. I'm trying to use the correct vernacular. I think it has to be extraordinary, okay? But when we say extraordinary, and I'm going back to the black and white people, this video is not for just black people, but for the black people, they harm us often, right? And these are the little tactics that they use to get away with their abuse. If it has to be extraordinary, who is to determine if it's extraordinary? How is it measured? How is it gauged? Who determines if it's extraordinary or not? Okay? So in the case of black people, we live in a country that is a white supremacist collective conscious. It is a white power structure, and the white power structure is against black people. If these different departments and courts they do this unconsciously, inconsciously, they rule against black people, when they evaluate if a judge is wrong, it's up to them to determine if it's extraordinary or not extraordinary. In the case of black people, what we're seeing, the bar is lower when it comes to us. When we are violated, okay, they don't hold the people who are violating us to the same standard, okay? This is to black people. To battered wives, you also fall in this category because you were weaker. Because you were weaker, they are going to always rule in favor of the judge. Okay, so this is why we're investigating this. We are going to show a pattern that the family court in Stanley Mosk is corrupt, and they're violating the civil rights of California citizens. Okay, and I hope I'm saying that right. There's so many things I wanted to say. Seth Soloway, I hope I'm saying it right. Seth Soloway, Amber Hankey. If you see this video, please contact me. We need to show a pattern. These judges need to be removed from the bench. And we need retribution. I'm going to speak briefly because I am involved, engaged with the reparation committee. And black people, y'all want money. And I'm not mad about you want reparations in the form of financial reparations. And I get that. But you guys, I am supposed to have $500,000 in the bank. And they took my money from me illegally. Okay? So, yes, they can make you whole by giving you a check. But the same people that abused you, that abused me can abuse you. You can get, reparations in terms of financial check. But what we need legal protection. We need an update to the Civil Rights Act. We need legislation that further deems us as a protective class. We need legislation that's outlined in its detail that says certain things. Like, for example, when they harm black people, they say that he was suspicious. One of the words that they use is that in this case of Judge Lawrence Riff, they're saying that what he did to us, to the parties, was not extraordinary. So what I read is that the damage was not extraordinary. So that doesn't say he didn't damage them. What the court is saying is wasn't extraordinary. So is it okay? No, it's not okay. Anyway, you guys, I hope I covered everything. Judge Lawrence Riff, we need to remove him from the bench. Judge Sarah Heidel, Judge Bruce Iwasaki. The person I talked to named some other judges, and you guys, they could be black judges. Olin said the black judge did something to her, okay? Said something to him. And, they use these little tactics, okay? To, they use these little tactics to not be held accountable for what they did, okay? I'm a black person and I love black people. Black people, I love you. Now, I'm going to ride for you while I'm still here and I'm doing this because I can't, you guys, I'm flabbergasted that these judges did this to me. And I didn't do anything, okay? Back to the battered wives. A couple of you guys have emailed me and you stopped emailing me. Judge Lawrence Riff targeted you specifically because he knew you didn't have the strength. One of the things he said in the court to me, and I don't know, okay, my other friend, she got them lying about, look, if your transcripts are not right, email me. The people who do the transcripts, they sit down with the judge. The transcripts are falsified. And we have proof, okay? I just need to get enough of y'all so we can comfort that whole court, okay? And why did I bring up the transcripts? I'm bringing up the transcripts. Girl, you guys know I get forgetful. I'm bringing up the transcripts for some reason. I'm bringing up the transcripts. Oh, because in my case, on one of my cases, when I tried to talk to him, Judge Lawrence Riff is an asshole. He's nasty. And you guys, I'm going to go the long route. The guy who I was married to was raised by a very nasty white man. And white nerdy men, like white nerds in school, and then they grew up to be successful, and they're revengeful. The guy that I married, his dad was like that. He's a nerdy, unattractive white man, okay? He became a doctor and very wealthy, and he abused his power. I think the same thing with Judge Lawrence Riff. I think Judge Lawrence Riff was probably not very popular, and as he grew in prestige and influence, he used that Napoleon syndrome kind of to abuse people. Okay. Also, this reminds me, I'm gonna share some stuff with you about Judge Lawrence Riff, and I want to find out. I want to find out about people that are associated with him because I believe something's going on. I think that he has influence, and I want to find out exactly who he has ties to. So I'm gonna continue this video and add more information. Just a moment, I'm going to stop for a minute because I need to take stock of where I'm at. Okay, you guys, I'm going to add some more content here because I'm fact finding. It's this woman that I located. Her name is Lorna Moten Riff. And I don't know if she is related to Judge Lawrence Riff. She is a forensic consultant. She's a forensic accountant. So I think she's a forensic accountant for the family court. Okay. So I don't know if this lady, what she is or who she is, but I'm going to go ahead and add her photos in here and let you see the content that I have about her. In her Facebook account, she has photos of someone that resembles Judge Lawrence Riff. I don't know if this is Judge Lawrence Riff's sister or I don't know. Okay, but I find it suspicious that she's a forensic accountant. She has the same name as Judge Riff, and she has photos on her Facebook that resembles him. So you guys take a look at this. I'm going to enter this in here. And then you guys, you know what? I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to go back and look at everything. And so to clarify, to wrap it up, we're looking for information and patterns of abuse by Judge Lawrence Riff. We're looking for other court officers, attorneys, or other officers that were aided and abetted the civil rights violation. I don't know what the legal term is. For me, I think it's a civil rights violation. I also think it's a hate crime against me because I'm a black woman. So we have to identify the what laws were broken once we look at the cases. What I know is Judge Lawrence Riff is guilty. Also, I want to briefly talk about Judge Amy Pellman made a comment that 4 officers, that they lost their down 4 judges. She didn't say why. I've got to watch the rest of the video. If anyone knows why Judge Lawrence Riff was removed technically, can someone inform me? I'm looking for more information. If you sued Judge Lawrence Riff and you were denied or whatever, if you have any claim against Stanley Mosk Family Court, if you have a claim against Judge Lawrence Riff, Judge Bruce Iwasaki, Judge Sarah Heidel, please contact me. I think that we can get legal remedy. I know this is not going to be an easy battle. You guys, as I sit here, I want you to understand I'm consistently in pain. I'm out of breath because my body is tired. All I want to do is let this go and leave it just a moment. Okay, I want to wrap this up and forgive the delay and the incongruency or the lack of cohesiveness. I know I keep stopping. They've been trying to get in here to clean my room because it's a bug issue in here, and I kind of got on them this morning that they need to take the linens and clean in here. I've been dealing with a bug issue for a very long time, and I was here last summer, and I literally almost lost my mind because the bed bugs were horrible. So they came in and the lady was trying to get in to clean up. That's why they kept knocking on the door and stuff. But I do want to say about the Lorna Riff, I don't know if she's guilty or anything or whatever. I just think that it's kind of coincidental that there's a woman who does forensic accounting for the family court who has the same last name as Judge Riff and who also has a picture of a man that resembles him. It looks like it might be his dad. Again, this might be coincidental, but this is a big coincidence. And I don't like to make allegations or allege anything if someone's not guilty of this. If anyone's listening and I've named you, we are fact finding, okay? I was involved. I was in an abusive marriage for my entire life. For 23 years of my life, I was abused by this man, okay? And I stayed with him because I loved him and I wanted my family to be together and I wanted my kids to not be from a broken home. He brought me great harm. It's a lot of things. And so I don't want to go too deep into it. I just need you to understand that Judge Lawrence Riff, Judge Bruce Iwasaki, and Judge Sarah Heidel are guilty of a hate crime against me. I'm very confident that they hurt me and they brought me great harm because I'm a black woman. Since the very beginning, they abused me without. I didn't do anything for them to treat me the way they did. Okay, so I could just move on, let this go, and go live my life. I'm not that young, but I still have a life ahead of me. And being involved in this is very detrimental and traumatic to my psyche. But my entire life, I believed I had purpose. You know, when I got married, I kind of lost myself. But I've always thought that I just liked, I growing up, I would intervene in the bully. When the bully would bully people, I would intervene. And I'm really having a hard time. So I can only imagine what's happening to other women. I'm strong. And if you measure my grit on a level, if you measure a grit scale, I have grit. I'm strong and I can push through. This is the most detrimental, devastating thing that has ever happened to me in my life. And it's unfortunate and it's unfair that we are taxpayers and that we charge these people with upholding the law and trying to, they're supposed to, it upsets me. It's because I haven't even been able to grieve my marriage. I was married to this man for over 23 years. And my therapist wants me to talk about him and feel and grieve my loss of this marriage. I can't even do that. I'm infuriated by what this court did to me. And so when you go to court, you have family issues. These people should be there to help you. They should be there to make things easy, not to try to benefit off of our pain and suffering. Judge Lawrence Riff is the devil. It was Judge Lawrence Riff, Judge Bruce Iwasaki, and Judge Sarah Heidel. Judge Bruce Iwasaki, multiple times, I saw fear in his eyes. Okay? And I'm a little more partial to a Japanese judge because I pay attention and I'm really mindful of other people. Asian people in this country, just like black people, they wanted to assimilate and they want to belong just like everybody else. And black people don't think I'm making excuses for Asian people, okay? Maybe I am. But Judge Bruce Iwasaki was a director of the ACLU. His parents were in concentration camps. And he was nasty and mean to me. He threw me into an anxiety panic attack. And I should be angry with him. But I just don't understand how someone can be so cruel to someone they didn't know without reason, without cause. At the end of the day, he had the power to make me whole and he didn't. He brought me more harm. Judge Bruce Iwasaki. What they're doing, it needs to stop. It's not okay. I can't walk away and I just know who I am. Part of me can't go on. Part of me is tired. Part of me is like, let this go. My body's like, leave this alone. I'll tell you the truth. I don't sleep. I have horrible anxiety. But what I think about is the people who they harm. One of the women who is helping me, she was in a shelter. She was in a battered wife shelter, and Judge Riff and another judge is harming her. I forgot the other judges, Judge Riff and other judges. Her case is terrible. Her husband's not paying spousal support he was ordered to do. They're doing all kind of shit, putting liens on her home. They are using and abusing this woman. And this is a good Jewish lady. This is a good Jewish lady who understand and loves God. I'm very multicultural and I'm sensitive to everyone. And I don't know if you know about the Jewish faith, but a lot of Jewish people are very much into their faith, and they live by God's will. And this is a good woman. This is a good, loving woman. And she told me that she was in a shelter. That she was a battered wife, and she's struggling. And the same way they stole my house, they're trying to steal her house too. And so I can walk away from this, start my life, and finish doing whatever I want to do. Because part of me, when I wake up, I'm struggling, but I'm not the man I was married to made me feel small. He made me feel like I was nothing for so many years. And so I'm very grateful that I'm free of him. But I shouldn't have to endure what they've done to me, you know? And so I honestly think that I want to keep doing this. And I just know I have purpose. The lady that I've been talking to a lot, I get emails and stuff from different women, Asian women, different women. And this court is horrible. This court is horrible. Allridge, she told me to call Allridge. I tried to contact Allridge. Gloria Allridge, this is a case against the Stanley Mosk's court. And I know you can get a class action suit against them violating women and battered women. I know there's a pattern. I know that there's a pattern because this man, Judge Lawrence Riff, is evil. He is the devil, okay? This man is the evil devil because Judge Bruce Iwasaki is the one who harmed me, but I don't think he was told. I don't think he did it on purpose. I think Judge Riff did it. And Judge Bruce Iwasaki, if you lied in court, you said that my husband paid off my credit cards when you know good damn well he didn't pay off my credit cards. You lied. You did all kind of egregious things to me. You were nasty to me. You were rude to me. And I didn't do anything. I was in an abusive marriage for 23 years with this wealthy, privileged white man. This man's mother's going to die. He's going to have millions of dollars. And you gave him everything. And I'm homeless in a fucking hotel. This video is Remove Judge Lawrence Riff from the bench. If you have any information about Judge Lawrence Riff, one of the things I want to know is where he's at. He's in 312 Spring Street. He's presiding over other civil cases, and he shouldn't be a judge, you guys. We have to have him removed. And I'm sure there's other judges that are a party to this. We need to clean up Stanley Mosk. For the rest of the country, California is family court is probably one of the biggest family courts in the country. I call lawyers in New York, Chicago, Detroit. One of my good friends in New York, one of the attorneys who I bug all the time, he's like, that's the family court. The family court is corrupt. We can make an example to other family courts if we come for this family court. So, you guys, I have a GoFundMe. That's laughable. If you want to help out, donate. If you have any information about the Stanley Mosk, if you were a victim. I think it's Amber, Hanky, and Seth Soloway. I'm going to try to locate you guys' address, and if I do, I'm going to mail you something. If they brought you harm, whatever they did, we can get retribution. I serve a good God, and my God's going to make me whole. I know in my heart that this is my purpose. I serve a good God. And so with that said, if you can help in any way and you have any information, please share. Thank you for listening.